Yep.
And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Good morning, people. It is Thursday morning. You're watching the BRUDDC Morning Show. We have two lovely guests on the show today. We have the lovely Rebecca, 32, from TikTok. We have, introduce yourself, buddy, real quick.
My name's Bradley. I'm also from TikTok as well. I've been on this channel before.
You have indeed. You have indeed. He's a regular. How are you doing, Rebecca, today? You all right?
Great.
Okay.
Absolutely fine and dandy.
Okay. You was mentioning earlier that you've had some good news with your course that you're doing. Rebecca's obviously training up to be an electrician, I believe. Share a little bit of that good news with us.
Just smashing it, aren't we? We're going to pass it, we're going to smash it, and that's that.
There we go. So if you guys need a sexy trades lady to come round and do your repairs, you know, Rebecca's the girl. Just catch her on TikTok. All right. She keeps telling me off. She told me off like 3 times already today. All right. The hot topic of the day, guys. Obviously, it's a very I don't know if you guys have heard, but I think it was like 5 bodies were found recently due to what looked like suicides. It does. The police aren't releasing details at the minute, but it was like 5 suicides in really fast. It's like over 4 days. So mental health is obviously a very big thing at the minute. I know, Bradley, you wanted to touch on it a little bit. We'll start with you, Bradley, and go from there, buddy.
Well, I would say from my perspective, mental health is a really, really hard thing to be dealing with because from my experience, I've got depression and I've also got ADHD. So what my ADHD does, it feeds off of people's emotions and I feel it 10 times more than other people would. And then also my depression, it's almost like it makes me feel alone. Like say for example, if I felt like really upset or I feel like I was basically in a room by myself, I just feel like the lowest of the low, and to the point where I feel like I would have no one to reach out to, no one who I can actually contact to, and it got to a point where last few days I just was basically in my bed, almost bawling to tears, basically because of my friendships were slowly falling apart, my family was slowly falling apart, and it's just it was all just going badly, really unexpectedly, to be fair. So it just got to the point where it's like, because I've mentioned it before in this channel, like I've been in foster care, so I've been with foster parents up until from 11 all the way up to 21, sorry, and during that time, I'm 21, turning 22 in April.
Okay.
So during that time, I wasn't able to go out. I wasn't able to meet any friends. The only thing I was really able to do was to play game consoles. That was pretty much it, because I was never really allowed to go out, and if it was for strict times. And I get that because of disciplinary, but it also stopped me from meeting any friends. So I was never allowed to go any social events or anything like that, because all my carers wanted me to do was to work.
Just stop there for 2 seconds, okay? Because that was a lot to digest, and obviously we wanna try and like help out a little bit if we can, sort of thing. Rebecca, based on what you heard, what would you sort of like? What would you say, basically?
So let me tell you, I've got brain damage. Okay. I've got umpteen things wrong with me. Now, I'll just tell you quickly, I had a team of 9 involved who told me I couldn't do day-to-day life, okay? With you being in foster care, they put a strict time on you to, obviously, it's not discipline, it's routine, okay?
Yeah,
it's trying to change your mindset into a routine pattern to get you used to the outside world, okay?
Yeah.
Now, where you're saying it stopped you interacting with your friends or going to certain events, how did that stop you?
It wasn't really the being in care, it was more my foster parents sort of stopped me. my foster parents weren't really allowing me to actually go places on my own or go to anywhere like social events and stuff like that. I was really, really truthfully, they just stopped me from doing any of that stuff because they were really damn strict on me, to be fair.
And how, if you don't mind me asking, how did that stop you? How did they physically stop you going to them events?
Oh, if I'm gonna be honest, it just stopped. The only reason the only thing they really wanted me to do is just to basically stay indoors, and it's just like, oh, just so I was able to go to youth clubs, but I wasn't able to, go for that long, to be fair. And I was, it got me. I was never really allowed to go out on my own. Like, put it that way, I was never allowed to go out on my own. I was never really allowed to, like, when I was in high school, for instance. I used to play basketball outside of college, and anytime I were to do that, my foster parents were like to me, well, why are you playing with your friends and you're not coming back home, like that sort of a deal. And it's just stuff like that that just really just underpowered me, to be fair. It
Yeah.
undermotivated me.
Sorry, Brad. I hear what you're saying, Bradley, and it can when you say it like that, it can seem like your foster parents were like trying to control you and stop you from having fun. But on the other side of it, do you know, sometimes as parents they over worry over their children, even if it's a foster kid, so they over worry. So maybe like they wanted you to come home because they were just, obviously I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying maybe that they might have wanted you to sort of like just come home at a certain time, because obviously one, they want to put discipline in place, and two, they were worried about you being out, being vulnerable on your own, sort of thing.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I'm also looking at the outsider's point of view. Did you give any reason, like meaning your actions, for them to self-doubt and want you in the house, or did you do anything where they no?
Not at all.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
basically trying to be myself. I was trying to be an outgoing person, really and truthfully. I try and meet as many people as I possibly can and I was trying to put the closest friends as possible as well.
How was you meeting these people?
Like, maybe I was either meeting them at school or sometimes at youth clubs and stuff like that. I was meeting people, but it just, yeah, it's. Mm.
Would you
I
would you
was
say
meeting people.
would you say you struggle a little bit to sort of interact with people on a personal level, sort of
Yes,
thing?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I would say that honestly.
Okay. I
So
mean
do
that.
you
Yeah.
think that your foster parents were kind of worried because you are classed as a vulnerable person and you find it
I
hard
think
to interact with other people? They might have thought like these people could have took advantage of you, and that's why they
yeah.
were so strict on you.
Yeah, because that's also another thing. Like, I'm a nice person. Don't get me wrong. I'm a really nice person. I'll do anything for anyone, but I'm nice to the point where I can get walked on. Like, I can get walked on, and and it just gets to a point where sometimes I just feel like it's not even a friendship. It just feels like I'm just being used. To be fair.
So people are picking up on your vulnerability and using it to the
Yeah.
best of their advantage,
Yeah.
basically.
Pretty much.
I get that. Sorry, BRUDDC, I'm kind of taking over
No,
here.
no, no. This is why you're here, because obviously, it's good to ask questions and put different it's better that we ask different questions rather than me just giving my intake, because then obviously if you say something, I can reflect on what you're saying before I answer what he's saying, sort of thing. So it's a good thing. But I mean,
I'm just getting a big picture, building a big picture.
and I'm building it as well. I'm building it as well.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, Bradley, like, it seems that maybe there's been a few times in your life where people have taken advantage of you, and and they've used you and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we have to just take the L, accept that you've been stupid in life, and say, you know what, I'm never gonna make that mistake again. So I think what we should be looking at doing is trying to build you up so you actually feel like You feel one. You've got to be proud of yourself. You've got to say, look, this is me. I'm Bradley. I don't give a fuck about what anyone else says. You know, this is me. Take me as I am, or basically go away. Basically, you know, what the last thing you want to be doing is sucking eggs with people. You know, like if you have to be someone else for someone to be your friend or someone to like you, then they're not worth having as friends.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. That's why a lot of the times I like to overthink stuff as well. Because if I like, say for example, like if I'm meeting someone and I have like the slightest instinct that something's not gonna go to plan or something's gonna go wrong or somewhere along down the line something's gonna happen, it's just gonna split the both of us up. It just gets to a point where I've already predicted the outcome, and because it's already happened and it's gonna happen again, I just don't feel like too disappointed about it. I don't feel any sort of emotion about it because I knew it was going to happen anyway from past experience.
You see, Bradley, I'm going to jump in there. I'm an overthinker. I've just took in everything that you said, and let me tell you, from past experience and coming from myself, that can affect your relationships moving forward. Because when you're
Yeah.
analyzing certain things and you're looking into it and overthinking it and going through it with a fine tooth comb, because of your past experience, you could affect what could be good
Yeah.
by
Of course.
analyzing that situation.
Yeah.
I call it trauma bonding. When you've been hurt
Mm.
before, you're scared of getting hurt
Being
again.
hurt again. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're putting your wall up, and then the little red flags, you're then picking up on it. But
Yeah.
you're thinking past, you're not thinking about now and what could be.
Mm. Yeah. And also another thing I was thinking of was because a lot of the time, because I'm a nice person, I like to give out advice to people. Like because of my past experience, because of my past experience, I could say this is what I've experienced and what's good. I try and help as many people as I possible by giving them advice, by helping them and all that. But because of my past experience, it does, or just the stuff that I'm going through currently, it doesn't seem that I'm more giving out than receiving. Like I give out advice, but I don't really feel like I'm taking the advice myself
and
because of that.
and that's one of the easiest things in life, buddy. You know, it's so easy
Yeah,
to say, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, everything's going to be
yeah,
perfect. But 9 times out of 10, not all the things, but most people in their life aren't doing everything they know they should be doing and should be telling. But from your perspective, I think, you know, you've got your own situation, you've got your own confidence issues to deal with at the minute. So the way
yeah,
you're dealing with it now, it seems like you want to help people, which is noble. You want to help people, but it seems like you should be working more on yourself. You can't give too
yeah,
much away. You can't give too much away sometimes, because you know people will take and give nothing back to you. You know, so
yeah,
that's just a waste of your time. So you're better off working on yourself, building your confidence level up, and then you become a better package for someone to take you in. You know, like there's something as simple as going to the gym. You can go to the gym
yeah,
every single day, buddy. Get yourself, if and this will be a challenge for you. This will be a challenge for you. I'll set you. I want you to join the gym membership, join a gym, and I want you to go every day for half an hour. You go to that gym every
yeah,
day for half an hour, buddy. You're gonna build up the amount of happiness within your body. You're gonna build up, like all them chemicals in your brain releasing those happy endorphins. It's going to make you a much happier person, something like that, where you work on yourself. And also it will attract people to you, you know, because like people will be like, you know, when you just go to the gym, someone will see you working out, they'll be like, oh, can I spot with you, buddy, you know, and then you make a proper friend.
yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
you agree, Rebecca.
I 100% agree. Like, Bradley, let me ask you, are you, and it's like a deep question, but I want to know the truth. Are you generally happy with yourself?
That's a good question, honestly. Really and truthfully, I feel like I am happy with myself, but I feel like there's a lot more improvements that I need to make for myself. Really and truthfully.
Okay, a bit of advice, them improvements, right? Get a pen and a piece of paper, write it down, stick it on the wall where you are going to see it every morning. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you don't delve in like all at once. It all starts with baby steps. Working on yourself all starts with baby steps. Nobody's gonna come to your life, wave a magic wand, and hey presto, your life's
Oh
gonna
no, of
go.
course.
No, I'm just saying, you know, you've got to work on yourself to where you're mentally stable enough to say, right, enough. You're taking a piss out of me. Sorry, BRUDDC, for my language.
Yeah, it's
But you're
fine.
acknowledging that before it comes to you getting hurt.
Yeah.
You know, the worst situation.
Yeah.
But Jim is amazing. Like, I started this and I've never felt better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And my mental health was out of this world. Honest to God, out of this world. But now it's balanced because I go to the gym. Not every day is perfect, but please explain what perfect is. You know?
Yeah.
It's just you building your inner self up to be able to handle when you have a bad episode or what have you.
Yeah, of course. And the way that I like to deal with my mental health or deal with my depression, I like to speak out about it. So anything that's like stuck on my chest or anything that's inside of me, I always like to talk to someone about it. So at least I sort of get my issues out the way, and I can also get advice from people who have faced similar issues from what I've been through.
Yeah. I mean that's good. That's good. That is good to talk. It's obviously very important to speak to people, you know. And sometimes, you know, you need. If someone speaking to someone is better than speaking to no one, you know. I mean, because sometimes, you know, like just like there's been so many times where, you know, I've seen it myself. People have written a last message on Facebook or on a social media platform. I can't take it no more and stuff like that. And the next day, no one thought to message them, but the next day they done something silly, you know. So sometimes, you know, it's best to speak to someone, but I think like speaking about you and obviously your situation, the gym thing is definitely something that will help you, you know, and it will help you meet like everyone at the gym's going there to work on themselves, you know. But I think talk like what do you want from life the next 5 years? What do you want? What would make you happy? That's an important question, you know, as well.
Yeah. What's it called? I'm also doing some really good things as well for myself. Like I'm getting myself a job. I've just had an interview which I pretty much passed.
Okay.
And I'm just, you know, trying to make ends meet. I'm just starting from the bottom and trying to work my way up to the point where I can be happy as well.
Yeah, that's
Happy
very
and start earning.
That's very important. That and you know, there's nothing better than that as a man. If you're not actually going out there grafting, working, you will feel you. I've been there myself, you know, where there's been times where my businesses weren't going good and I wasn't earning money, the stress and all that sort of stuff that can destroy a man, and that is probably one of the leading causes why men decide to do things they shouldn't do. You know, so it's very important for a man to. Obviously, when you lose your job, you can cry about it, whatever. You have a day or two, whatever. But then you dust yourself off and you say, you know what? I'm picking myself up, sort of thing. Because, like I tell you, I had like a very good business, and I went through bankruptcy. And I tell you, buddy, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me, you know, like, and with mental health, oh my God, like where my head was at the time, it was, oh my God, it was destroying me. Like, it was literally destroying me, consuming me. All I wanted to do was lay in my bed. But I said to myself, you know, I'm gonna feel sorry for myself for a minute, but then I'm gonna dust myself off and get back up and start fighting again, you know. So it's very important that, you know, you see that end goal, which is something that some people can't do. See that end goal, they're in a bad situation, they can't see past that bad situation. Something I've always been able to do is, if I'm in a bad situation, be like, oh fuck it, in 10 years time, in 5 years time, in 2 years time, this is where I'm going to be. And that sort of helps me with that sort of thing. But what about you, Rebecca? Any sort of similar circumstances? You can talk now.
I did that because you know what's coming.
Yeah. All right. You coming to grill someone, are you?
Hey?
You coming to grill someone now?
No.
Okay.
Were you saying you're looking at, and I'm coming to you, BRUDDC, were you saying you're looking at, you know, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year plan, yeah? Sometimes some people can't look that far.
I know that, yeah.
Now, I'm going to use, like, BRUDDC on my TikTok, I use myself as an example because I can only advise if I've been through it myself.
Yep.
Now, I hit rock bottom 2 years ago. I had a nervous breakdown. I tried hanging myself. That's
Wow.
the truth. If it weren't for my mother, I wouldn't be here right now. If it weren't for my son, I'd be here right now. Now, for me, I don't know whether you've seen the video on TikTok, BRUDDC. Do you know where I was stick thin?
I've seen some stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I hit nervous breakdown. Now, for me, to get out of that dark place, I had to focus on one day at a time.
Yeah.
So each morning, I had to write a plan. I had to write a structure. Even if that's just getting up out of bed, getting in the shower, making sure I had something to eat, making sure I've got that energy. I've took the first step of self-healing. Now, if you're in that dark place, I'm going to be deadly harsh here. You know what? People who say, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to do that, I've been there myself. It's a cry for help. If you're going to go do it, you're going to go do it. Trust me. I've lost family members through suicide,
Yeah.
and only you can help yourself. Like I stated before,
Yeah.
no one's going to come and help you.
Yeah.
But you have to take a day at a time. If you can't see in the future, you have to take a day at a time.
Yeah.
And like I said, even if it's the simplest things of, I'm going to get up and get in the shower, I'm going to go make some food, or I'm going to go out and take a walk. You've done the first steps of self-healing.
Yeah.
You know.
Anything you want to come in with, Bradley?
I would say, because what's good, I feel like with me, right? Because what's good, I've also had a job interview as well, and I've also done work on Saturday as well. But I feel like the main thing that I need to start focusing on before anything else, before relationships and all that, I need to start getting into work and I need to start earning. That's the crucial thing that I definitely need in order for me to move on. So that's sort of my goal at the moment to get to, is to just get a job, earn some money, and just go to the gym and then start working myself off, and then hopefully get off this universal credit because it's not really doing me any good, really and truthfully. And just basically try and live my life the way I want to live it, really and truthfully, and try and improve myself and make myself a better person.
If I was to
Sometimes
ask you,
you can
sorry.
go out. Sorry, brother.
No, go.
Well, sometimes you can go out to work and do this and that and distract your mind from your inner self.
Yeah.
So the main focus on your list should be fixing your inner self and building your mental state to where you're strong enough to go out to work. And if anything did happen at work, you'll be able to handle it. Because if your mental state in 99%, how are you then going to go and put 100% into work or 99% into the gym? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, true.
You need to be 99.9% here before you then go take yourself out into the public to where you want to help others or work or this or that.
Yeah.
Because when you come home and you sit on your own and you're in your thoughts, who's going to be there then?
Definitely. What I was gonna say is, Bradley, a lot of us have pressures in life. We feel that we should be doing this, we should be doing that, and that's obviously what makes us feel down when we're not doing what we should be doing, what we think we should be doing.
Yeah.
So what would you say ultimately is holding you, like, what is holding, what is, like, do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, like, what is putting the pressure on you? Like, what is the main thing that's putting pressure on you, that's saying, you should be doing this?
Really, truthfully, it's just me trying to motivate myself to try and getting out there, try and motivate myself to try and get a job, it's like me, it's because I just feel like I'm just not, because me just sitting in my bed like I'm doing now, I don't really see any benefit in that. So I'm just trying to, you know, go one step further and just try and get myself out there, try and get myself out in the world, try and get myself outside my house, trying to get a job, try and get paid, try and see my family up the country and possibly go to other countries if necessary, and all that sort of stuff. So what I said what really stopping me is really just my motivation, really and truthfully. Me trying to motivate myself to try and be in that mindset where I just feel like I need to and I want to do this.
Yeah, that's good.
Did you say you're sat in your bed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm because
When
what's it
you
called?
come
Because
off
I'm
live,
in the shared housing.
listen,
That's
when
fine.
you come off this live, take my advice, get up out of your bed, go get in the shower, and go for a 15-minute walk, because that
Yeah, of
will
course.
do you a world of justice.
Yeah, of
Why
course.
don't you start off today, right now,
Yeah.
in improving yourself? I don't work. I go to college, but I still get up and I still get dressed and I still do this, and because you need to keep your mind motivated to
Yeah.
bring positive. If you're feeling negative, you're going to attract negative. If you're feeling positive and good about yourself, you're going to attract positivity.
Yeah.
But it all starts with you. You are the only one who can change
True.
it, no one else.
Yeah, I'm not going to make excuses for you, Bradley, but obviously you've been through, so you have kind of been sheltered a little bit, and obviously you, like you said, you're on universal credit, you've been on, you're on benefits, so you are kind of being looked after, and so you've got that safety net. So the pressure isn't on you as well as much as it, like, imagine if like they just took all your benefits away from you today and
Oh
said
God.
you know, you got to go do it. You got to go get a job right now. It's sink or bust. You'll see the difference in the urgency. But because you don't have that, you've got that comfort. It's like one of those mums, one of those what, I don't know what to call them. One of them footballer wives, or something, one of them wags. They ain't got nothing to worry about because they got their cushion. You know, they got their safety net.
Yeah.
So you've got a safety net at the minute. So if you could try and, like, what you should try and do in your head when you're going for these job interviews, try and imagine that, like, if you don't get that job, you're not gonna be able to eat. You're not gonna be able to have a roof over your head. Like, it changes that when everything changes when it's a must and when you have to do it. You know.
Yeah. Of course.
So try bring that mindset in. So I think, like what Rebecca said, she gave some really good advice. Write down some goals. Write down some stuff on a bit of paper. Write down some stuff on paper, and and just start slowly ticking out that list. And give yourself a deadline. Don't be hard on yourself. Say to yourself, look, that number one on the list, I want that accomplished within a month. I'm going to work on it every single day, but I want it accomplished within the month, and then start ticking off them boxes. But the easiest thing, I think, on benefits as well, you get free access to gyms and stuff, don't you? You get free, I think you can get
I don't think in this council you do. Probably in other boroughs, but I don't think in this one.
You sure? I
I don't
think
think Enfield.
Go on,
I
Bex.
live in Enfield.
Pardon?
I live in Enfield, North London.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you should be able to find. They definitely offer a discount in gyms anyway. Like, a pure gym is only like £13 to £20 a month anyway, and I'm pretty sure they give a discount for people that are on benefits and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you as well, yeah. I'll be honest with you as well about something. Like, it's easier said than done. I'm not gonna just say something to you. I'll be honest with you and share something with you. So I don't feel like when I was going through what I was going through with being bankrupt and stuff like that. You couldn't have said and I did listen to every motivational speaker possible. I was listening to it all day long, every day. I think it just became a safety net, kind of making me feel better about myself and stuff. But I wasn't able to concentrate on working out until I got myself on track financially, because I had to, because that was serious pressure. So it's easier said than done when people say, go to the gym. I'm gonna say to you, it's not easy. But it for me, you couldn't have convinced me for love or money when I was going through what I was going through to go for a run or go for a walk or anything like that sort of thing. You couldn't have convinced me for love or money.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. So obviously I had different pressures. I had a family to look after and stuff like that, so it's different for me. So it is sink or bust, find that job, find that work, or house, no electricity, no food on the table. So it's different. So like I said to you, you just got to try and adopt that mindset, buddy, when you're going for stuff in life.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Bex, let's move over to you now. How's life for you?
My life's good.
Oh, good.
My life's good.
I mean, Bradley, thank you for joining us, yeah. And like I said, stay in touch with us. But I'm going to have a one-to-one with Bex now. But thank you for joining us, and it's amazing having you on. And like I said to you before, you're welcome anytime. Just drop me a message if you want to come in. I have guests on my morning shows all the time. You're welcome to come in, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. See you later, Brad.
Bye.
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 Come on and leave me, Bradley. Boom. How are you? You alright? 1 second. Let me just sort my stream out a second now. Just got to sort your screen out.
Are we still live?
We're still live. We're gonna go for another 5 to 10 more minutes max. 5 to 10 more minutes. That's all right with you? Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's.
Is that all right, Treacle?
That's all right, Treacle Toffee.
We're live on YouTube still. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. All right, cool. 1 second. I'm just fixing your camera view. 1 second. Bum 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 bum. Oh. Bum, 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 bum. The joys of technology, people. There's no big team behind me. It's all me doing this work by myself. All right, Bex. This one is a hot topic that we're going to be talking about. I've been speaking about it a lot as well at the minute. The struggles of being independent, a single mum, and sort of like that. The struggles of being a single mum and sort of thing. Like a lot of women. I was talking to this a couple of girls recently, and they were just basically saying that a lot of them are putting on brave faces and just not really, like you said, opening up about sort of like how they're really feeling and stuff like that, because obviously we all know, I've never been a single mum or anything like that, but I've looked after kids by myself, and I know day in, day out, having them, it's hard work sort of thing. And I touched on one of your streams recently, and you were talking about it as well. Do you want to jump in on it? You don't have to go into too much detail and everything, but just...
It's funny you actually say this, because it's like the universe has vibed you to me, because, right, so I've been a single mum for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my mother, she has been my rock. Mm-hmm. But because my mother has her own life and her own health issues, I don't get a break at all. At all. I have my son 24/7. The only break I get is when he's at school. Now, obviously, I'm at college. I've moved away from Manchester, don't know no one. So I'm on my own. And when I say I'm on my own, I'm on my own.
Yeah.
I've had to rely on my neighbour to watch my son while I go to night classes. As it's come up to the end of the course, she's had her own issues. So you take that out of the equation, I'm stuck. I mean, I'm stuck. Like, how am I going to go to college? I can't leave my son at home on his own. Yesterday, I had to call upon my friend. Now, I'm still feeling a bit weird with this. Like, I had to call upon my friend from Manchester. It's an hour and a half away from where I used to live. And I was like, listen, I need some help. My neighbour can't have my son. Please, can you come? So they've come up now. I tell you something, what a godsend, because they've come, they've got me son from football while I'm at college. I've come home then, I've had my dinner made, I've had a bath made, and
This has got to be a guy, surely.
Shut up, man. So anyway, I've had my dinner made, I've had my bath made, and then literally I've just been left to my own devices. Do you know, like being able to woosah after college? I don't get that. I come home and then it's back to motherhood. It's back to sorting out my son, doing his homework, making sure he's eaten, making sure he's fresh for bed, making sure he's ready for school. I don't get that wind down time. And then literally this morning, I've woken up at 9:15. I'm looking at my phone. I'm thinking, shit, I'm late for school. I then go downstairs. No one's in the house. And I'm thinking panic mode because I'm not used to this. I'm thinking panic mode. Where's my mate? Where's my son? Where's my car? I'm like, what has gone on here? Next thing, phone rings. It's my boy. And he's like, Mummy, I'm on the way to school. Is it all right if I take my phone? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. Come off the phone. And I'm actually sat there thinking, is this what it actually feels like when you get a little bit of help? Because as a single mother, it is so hard. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah.
You know, where a single person, they can wake up in the morning and think about themselves and what they've got. You can't do that. And I'm going to admit, you do forget about yourself when you're a single mother. You forget about your needs and what you need to do. And it is a bit contradicting going back to the guy you were on here where you have to make sure you are okay. You can't do that when you're a single mother. Yeah. Because you've got a child relying on you.
There's no time. There's no time for nothing. It's just acts. You've got to make breakfast. You've got to do this. You've got a whole load of chores to do and things to do. You have to do them. You know, there's no if. There's no one's coming to save you. But yeah, it's that's what I mean. It's tough, and I think you're in a slightly better situation than, you know, the single mum that's on the council estate that's got no sort of, not putting anyone down or anything like that. But you know, you're in a slightly better situation, I would say. Like
how? Now we're gonna get into it. How?
Because I don't want to talk. I don't want. Obviously, what we spoke.
You know me, but say be open and honest, and I'm not gonna take it as an offence.
No,
you know?
no, it's not. You're not going to be affected. What if you listen to what I said? Your situation is slightly different to someone that's living in a council flat, sort of thing.
Of course it is. But let's not forget, I was homeless, living in a council flat.
No, I do know what you're saying, but I'm saying where you are now.
I was in a flat where my baby's dad's prison cell were bigger than the flat. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to get run over and sustain a severe brain injury to be able to be comfortable like this.
Yeah. That's what I meant. That's what I meant by it anyway. I didn't mean I weren't going to touch on it. Obviously, I didn't want to talk your business. I just wanted to say that obviously there's some people at the minute that are counting every single penny. They don't have enough money for their electricity, don't have money for their gas, and then.
But then they're going out every weekend. And I am sorry, and I'm not offending nobody, but I've seen it from my own two eyes. Some of my family's like that. You're going out every weekend, you're going buying liquor or cigarettes or this or that, but then you're struggling with electricity and gas. Well, hold up, sort your priorities out, mate. And I'm sorry, that might offend people, but I'm straight to the point.
Fair enough.
If you can afford to smoke cigarettes, which is a luxury, you can afford to put gas and electric on.
Yeah, the price of cigarettes and stuff now is insane. And do you know what's really telling? Actually? And this is not to put anyone down. People have their situations, but during COVID, when the government released them vouchers to support families that needed help, I knew personally people in the shops that was saying parents were coming in with them vouchers that are for food to try and buy alcohol and cigarettes.
There you go.
Yeah, but
I know a lot of people struggle, and I know a lot of people turn to alcohol and drugs to you know, fog out what is actually going on. You know, I smoked weed from 14 till what, 21, to fog out all the crap that were going on in my life. It doesn't help, because you have to wake up the next day and still deal with what's going on in life. But then you've got an added pressure onto it, because you have to deal with the withdrawals from the alcohol or the weed or the drugs. You know, and I do feel sorry for the single mothers out there, but fucking hell, and I'm sorry to speak about myself, but I got told to abort my child because I weren't mentally fit enough to have my child. I struggle daily, and I do put on a front now and then to get through it. Shit happens. Crack on with it. Us women decided to lay down with a man without using protection, so we know the consequences of what's going to happen. And I'm sorry, but you've got two choices. You go through with the pregnancy, or you abort the pregnancy. You know what's going to go on. You know, we all know there's a chance that a relationship isn't going to work out. But shit happens.
I'm going to touch on something really quick at the minute. So people are going to look at you and think, very pretty lady, very beautiful woman. She's got all her shit. You got all your shit together. Why haven't you got a man in the nicest way possible? How is a woman like you laying in your bed every night on your own, sort of thing? Like, a lot of people will be bemused by that. What's going on?
Because, and I'm going to go back to the guy who was speaking, because I am vulnerable in certain situations, and trauma bonding, that's what I'm going to call it, because I've been in mental and physical abusive relationships, in every relationship that I've had. And I'm going to openly admit it, I've turned to men to make myself happy, and it don't work like that. You, like I stated, you are the only one who can make yourself happy. And right now, that's the path I'm on, self-healing. You know, I don't need a man for nothing. You know, I would like a man, there's a difference. But no man has come in front of me to this day that's not going to give me headache or drama. So I'd rather be on my own until that man comes.
Well, I think when you said a lot of key words there. I don't want a man, I need a man. This is a very hot topic.
I need a man, I would like a man.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I don't need a man, I would like a man. It kind of, like, at the minute, there's a lot of podcasts and a lot of people, and they're basically saying that women that kind of had their shit together, financially okay, don't require a man for the basic financial needs, you know. Those sort of women are being put to the side almost, because men see it as very masculine.
Men want a needy woman. Men want a woman to say, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. And I'm sorry, I'm a strong-headed woman. I'm an independent woman. No man is going to tell me left or right, simple. If he's going to try and tell me left or right, he's getting told goodbye there at the door. Because it's about working as a team. It's about building together as a team. It's not, you've got this and I've got this and I'm better than you because I've got this or that. I know, and I'm not being big-headed here, BRUDDC, right? I know I am not going to come across that many men these days who's in my financial situation, who's fixed up like I'm fixed up. I know that fact 100%, unless I go with a 60-year-old man who's retired and got everything. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, so I know that. So when I'm looking at a man, I'm looking at his personality. What he can offer me as an individual. Can he understand my personality? Can he understand me as an individual? Because I'm far from perfect. I have my issues, especially with my illness.
Okay. So seeing that, obviously you said it's going to be very hard for a guy to come in at your level. Would you be honest now, would you be able to respect a regular guy that works a simple job, 40 grand, like 40 to 30 to 40 grand a year. He's gonna cut 40 to 30 grand a year, regular normal guy. Would you be able to respect that person?
Yeah.
That's good then. That is good.
Like I've just stated, and let me state this fact.
Mm.
Who came yesterday is just a friend.
Mm.
Just a friend, yeah? But what they did for me meant a lot. I mean, it meant a lot because I don't get that. So for them to take that little stress off me
Yeah.
meant the world to me. And that's all I want out of a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, understand that I am doing I ain't just doing the electrical course, yeah?
Yeah.
I've got other things going on as well.
Yeah.
And then I've got to be a mum. And then I've got this and that. That little stress there of coming home, making sure there's dinner, making sure this is in place, he's done his homework. That meant a lot to me. But what I've acknowledged these days is not that many men can come to you and do that.
Yeah, I think there don't. You'll be very surprised. Yeah, there are men that are willing to be sort of like the housewife sort of thing, go to work but still do like the housewife sort of stuff. But the problem is women, as women generally, they'll say this, they'll say that. Yeah, I'll take a normal guy. But the moment some shit happens, they will be more than happy to put it in the guy's face that I'm better than you in a certain way. That's just no, but they're not you. Maybe not you, and that makes you a minority. But majority of women, they're not looking for a guy. You know, they're looking for a guy to come in at least on their level. They're not even looking anywhere
They're
below that
looking
level.
at a guy to provide for him and everything like that. And I'm sorry, go back to your mummy and daddy if you want that, because you're a woman and that's a man. You make your own. Do you get what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Like I've dated men who are like, no offense, they're in rented property, yeah, and they've sat me down and said, Becca, you're in this situation. Why do you want me? And I'm like, it's not what you've got, because if we came together at the end of it, and one thing I will admit is I will never let a man live with me. From my past experience, I need to know, right, you get your place sorted, whether that's putting down a mortgage, whether that's doing this or that, but make sure you yourself have got something to fall back on. That's what I always make sure of. You know,
Yeah.
I've dated men who haven't had much, but I don't look at what they've got. I look at him as an individual character.
But that might be a bit of a tough one, though, you know, because a guy, like, you know, if he sees you and he's like, you know, oh, I'm really feeling you, I'm really in love with you, like, I want to come and move in with you. Like, what would a guy have to do to prove himself to you?
I wouldn't allow it.
Well, not at all, never. You're never going to let any guy move in with you.
No, he needs to get his own place because, and I'm not thinking about myself there, I'm thinking about him. Because what if it did not work out? Where is he going to go then? He's got nowhere to go.
That's a tough one. That is gonna. I'm not gonna lie. That's a tough one for a guy to sort of like. Obviously, that's a real tough one because it's like, just think about the other way around. Most guys with their own. This is different between what you're saying and to what I would say 90% of most men would say. A man that has his own property, has his shit together, has his finance together. He will take a woman working at Starbucks and bring that woman into his house. As long as that woman is willing to be loyal, not disrespect him, show tendencies that she's trustworthy and she's willing to be a mum, a guy will just bring a woman in and look after him. But it seems it's proving the other side's point at the minute that women aren't able to sort of do the same thing. It's like a guy makes loads of money. He says, you know what? I can hold down. I can look after this woman. She don't have to do shit. All she has to do is be loyal and be a good mum. I'm going to look after her. But when women make that money and have that situation, they're looking for a whole load of...
No, because at the end of the day, that guy's going to be in his own place if you meet him anyway. because we're not 20.
Yeah,
We're 30. You know, you get what I'm saying? He's
Yeah,
going to be living on his own. So if you've got a mortgage, keep that mortgage. Jump one of your friends into your place, rent it out. You're getting money. Then you've got something to fall back on.
So you, so you would let him move in then if he said, "I'm going to rent my property out"? Would you let him move in then?
Yes, I would.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because
Okay,
he'll
fair
have
enough.
something to fall back on.
Okay, fair enough. But do you know? That's kind of.
I wouldn't want a man left on the street because it is a touchy subject, but it happened with my child's father.
Yeah.
You know, he came out, he moved in with me, we ended up splitting up, and he were on the streets. And then it's a toxic cycle then, because he's then gonna go move in with a woman, end up doing it again, and it's a vicious circle. I wouldn't want to do that to anybody.
Yeah.
Because I feel hard, and I wouldn't want somebody on the streets. So I would rather them have their own place and be set up, just in case it didn't work out.
I hear that. Do you know? But it's almost like one of those things, like where you can be in a relationship with someone and they say something like, "Well, you know, it might not work out between us. We might have to break up one day." When someone says that, that can be a stab, and it feels like and it has happened. People have said that to me before. It feels like a stab in the heart. 'Cause it's like you love someone, and they're just saying right now, like, if it doesn't work out, you can just go your way, I'll go my way, and you're committed already, sort of thing. So you saying that, it's like, you know, when we were giving advice to my man a second ago, we were saying don't let your past traumas affect previous situations. When you say what you just said there, if it doesn't work out, you can go back to your house, and I see why you're laughing.
Yeah, but I've got my son to think about.
I hear that. But
you get what I'm saying? And say if me and a man moved in together, whatever, and 10 years down the line,
doesn't work out, you can go back to
you split up, he's gonna want half of what you've got.
Yeah, and you got to be careful of that as well, unfortunately.
And I'm sorry, but these houses I'm sat on ain't mine. They're my child's. So you're not having half of what I've got. And that's the whole point I'm trying to get at. I don't look at now. I look at the future, and I'm looking after my boy, who's my number one. No man comes in front of that.
God,
so make sure your ass is set up before you step into my life, because allow it.
you ain't affected. Your situation ain't changing, yeah? You ain't affected. Anyway, alright, Becca, it's been a fiery morning. You've asked some nice questions. It's been amazing having you on the morning show. We're definitely gonna have to have you back on again to, you know, to get us a little spike, get us to raise our backs a little bit, you know, because, you know, Rebecca can come with anything. You can find Rebecca on TikTok, people, at x.rebecca.times32, x32, sorry. You can find her on there. Everyone, have a fantastic